Good morning, everyone. I'm your host, Melody. Today, we're gonna plant some beets. Now, beets come in a rainbow of colors, and you can also grill it, saute it, roast it, or eat it raw. It has a nice earthy and sweet flavor. So if you've ever tasted dirt as a child, you'll know what I'm talking about. In Jamaica, we did. So I know what the flavor of dirt tastes like, and it has a little bit of that earthiness to it, but it's also nice and sweet. It's rich in vitamin A, vitamin C, and it has a higher iron level than spinach. Who knew, right? It is also high in antioxidants. Another thing that I didn't know about beets until the other day was for some reason, my blood pressure was elevated, probably stress. And I was on my way to the ER. I'm like, this is weird. And I called my sister, she's an RN, and she said, drink some beet juice, lay on your left side. And the next day I laid on my left side and drank some water the first night. The next morning I went to go get the beets and I juiced them. It dyed everything. My hands, the cloth that was close by it, but it tastes delicious and it did lower my blood pressure. Apparently beets have nitrates in them, and I guess there's like nitric oxide that comes as a result of that, and that lowers the blood pressure within a few hours. So if you have blood pressure issues, this is not a replacement for your doctor's instructions, but beet juice can't hurt. All right. So I have the Detroit red beet. It's very common. I got this at Home Depot yesterday. And beets they like sun. They like the soil to be kept moist. And I'm going to plant my beets in eggshells. Now, the last time I did eggshells, I planted chamomile, and I'll show you where they are right now. Little baby chamomiles. I thought it looked super cute, so I'm like, why not? Why not try beets? So I use the old egg carton from Trader Joe's. They oftentimes use this paper egg carton. It's great for planting directly into it as well. I double it. I put the top as a support for the egg craters, so that when it gets moist, it doesn't fall apart readily. It has some kind of support. The soil that I'm using is a mix of organic raised garden bed soil and cow manure. Now I'm using cow manure because it's very rich. I think it's my favorite as far as natural fertilizers go. We grew up with that in Jamaica. And here, you can buy it in the store instead of going out to the fields. What they do is, because the cows have 4 stomachs, so they eat all the grass and all the good stuff, and it gets processed 4 times. So by the time it comes out the other end, there's no weeds and things that can grow up in your garden as a result of using this. But cow manure is also strong in ammonia, so they leave the cow manure out to compost and cure, and what that does is it condenses all the good nutrients in it, but gets rid of the ammonia smell. I'm using 2 parts raised garden bed soil and 1 part cow manure. And I use raised garden bed because that's what I have behind me. I have a little raised garden bed situation in the back there, and that's what I use in there. So I've saved all the egg shells, and I've been intentional when I open them because I had the vision of using this in mind. So I just cracked off just the little top part. In most of them, there's one that was cracked in half, but it still has enough room to be used. And I did do that for the chamomile as well, and it works just fine. See, this one is a little more open. There's a little baby chamomiles right there. So we have the soil, and I also have a spritz bottle of water. This is pretty effective because when you're watering delicate seedlings, like in here, you don't want to turn the hose on it or pour a cup of water. You need to gently spritz it to water the soil gently, or the water can damage it. So I'm going to use a takeout spoon as my little gardening tool. It's a good way to kind of upcycle stuff that you would normally throw away. And it works fine because it's the right size to help me get the soil in the eggshell. Right. Done. Now let's look at the seeds. I need 2, 4, 6, 8, 6. That's 9. Let's see. Here's what the seed looks like. If you can see. There. That's a beet seed. Who knew, right? So I'm gonna go one by one. I'm gonna sink it down just a little bit in the soil because I'm gonna also cover the top. Once the plant reaches 2 inches, you can plant it in the garden. How do you do that when it's in the eggshell? All you do is you squash the eggshell. You don't have to peel it apart, just squash it, drop it in the soil, it's fine. If there are any sharp pieces that look a little bit too crazy to you, just remove that. But you could just squash them in the eggshell. Not to smash the plant, but just to crack the shell and give them room, give the roots room to move around. How easy was that? How easy was that? Okay, I'm ready to plant the beets. We planted them from seed, and it's super cute how it looks in the eggshell. Beet is very delicious, a nice warm earthy flavor, almost has like the flavor of dirt. As a kid growing up in Jamaica, my sister and I, that's just about all kids, we tasted dirt because we wanted to know what it tastes like. And so the flavor of beet is like sweet earthy flavor. So it's ready to be transplanted, and the soil that I'm using is a good mixture of organic raised garden bed soil and cow manure. And so I'm just gonna crack the shell. It's so easy to do. Separate it. This is all that needs to be done. Just kind of crack it open so that the plant knows that there's now more space. And so then I cover it with soil. Kind of pat it down so it feels like it has a sturdy structure. Then I'll move on to the next one. Juicing beets has several benefits. 1, it's low in calories yet high in valuable minerals and vitamins. 2, increases your nitric oxide production, which improves the blood flow and lowers your blood pressure. 3, it helps babies and children grow in their most rapid stages of development. 4, the betanin in beets is a phytonutrient that's known for its detoxification abilities. It supports and strengthens the liver. 5, beets are particularly rich in folate, a vitamin that plays a key role in growth development and heart health. 6, beets contain pigments called betalains, which possesses a number of anti-inflammatory properties. Be careful, too much beets can lead to the formation of kidney stones and can turn your pee pink or red, and your stool can be discolored as well. I hope this video influences you to try some beet juice and see how you like it. Don't forget to cook those beet greens as well. They are delicious. See you on the next video.